We laugh, we play, we sing every day. We're all here together at school together to learn. And we are Horizons, learning together and playing together with love. We teach, we care, we help, and we share. We're all here together at school together to learn. And we are Horizons, learning together and playing together with love. Learning together, playing together with love. Horizons.
Well, what an incredible way to start the evening with a welcome from a couple of little girls who will be enjoying their brand new school in Roxbury beginning this month. You're going to hear more about this very special place and the families who will benefit from it over the course of this evening. But before we get to that, I of course want to welcome you to Horizons for Homeless Children's annual gala. I'm Trenny Kuznirik, your MC for the evening, and the last couple of events I've been on my couch at home. They let me out. I am now in our beautiful NBC Sports Boston studios at the Boston Media Center. And I'm so happy to be here with you once again to celebrate all that Horizons has accomplished in this very difficult year. We want to welcome our loyal supporters who come to this gala year in and year out, but I also want to welcome the many new faces and Horizons supporters who have become a part of this community since we last gathered. And to all the families and children who are with us tonight, we're so glad to have you here as well. We want to help families celebrate and learn tonight, so we have some great materials which you can actually download on the event website. We hope you will check those out. Man, what a year it has been. We have made it through some seriously trying times, and thankfully vaccination rates are up. And the trials of last year, though, they're still having an impact on the families that Horizons serves. You're going to hear more about their triumphs and challenges over the course of this evening. One of those stories to come is from Angelik, a parent who has worked with the team at Horizons over the course of the pandemic to build a better tomorrow for herself and her family. As always, you'll hear from one of my favorite people, Kate Barand, Horizons CEO, about Horizons' response to the challenges that emerged this past year. We've also got a couple of surprises and smiles woven into the course of the next few minutes. I want to let you know that the theme of this evening's event is building a better tomorrow, and there's a lot behind that phrase. It is what our families are doing, but it also reflects what is beginning to happen right now in Roxbury. The new Edgerley Family Horizons Center opened this month, and it is already a busy place for enrichment and learning as children arrive to their classrooms every day, greeted by unbelievably wonderful educators who are ready to help them imagine what is possible. But before we show you the progress of what's happening, I do want to remind you why we're all here together this evening. As we all know, the pandemic has made the trials of families experiencing homelessness even more significant. While many of us have been lucky enough to quarantine and work from home, a lot of families had to do that in their single shelter rooms, often without work or access to relief. But Horizons never lost a beat. The team continued to have a direct impact on families throughout the crisis. And with your support, they will continue to do so as families get back on track, building their own better tomorrow. We really hope you'll support this work however it best suits you. And it's so easy online. You can follow instructions on your screen for how to give at any point in this evening. Follow along, and you can also see how we're doing against our goal. We've beat our goal a lot recently. We want to keep doing that. You can also check out the unique auction items available. You're going to see original artwork by children's book illustrators, vacation destinations. Now that everyone's getting shots in arms, we can travel a little bit more. Plus, there is more. You can also buy a virtual backpack or two and prepare a child as they launch into kindergarten. We're also going to reinforce what you're hearing tonight by checking out our new Family Resource Center. You can actually download a family discussion sheet and more to engage your children, to teach them about how we can tackle homelessness together. Okay, let's get things started. Before the Horizons Center opened, our teachers were among the first to get a preview of the spaces where they would be working. Let's join them as they walk through for the very first time. I'm blown away. I mean, I'm really floored. It's incredible. It's incredible.
Well, look at the playground. I'm excited. I'm not even a kid, but I'm excited to go on the playground. I'm like a giant kid. I could cry. It's so crazy.
This is amazing. This is my favorite classroom. This is my classroom.
Yes, this is my room. Yay! I'm so happy. Yay, my room. Oh yeah, they're gonna do it no views outside. Wow, it's so gorgeous. I love the colors. The wall colors? Yeah, I love it. I can't wait. Excited.
Good evening. Isn't it fun to see the enthusiasm of our team as they see their beautiful new Edgerley Family Horizons Center? That's part of the culture that we're intentionally building at Horizons, to share a little joy. So tonight I'd like to welcome you to the second, and I pray last, virtual gala. We have an amazing program planned, and we're so appreciative that you're joining us here this evening. I want to send a particular thank you out to our lead sponsors of the gala for their incredible support. Sandy and Paul Edgerley, Lauren and Joe Mazzella, MFS Investment Management, and the Boston Celtics Shamrock Foundation. Thank you again. Not the least, but surely the most amazing gala committee also deserves my heartfelt thank you. Tonight is really about your efforts, and it's about sharing the excitement that we have for the new Edgerley Family Horizons Center. I also have to thank Sandy and Paul Edgerley for their lifetime support of Horizons and its mission. They helped make this building a reality. In addition, I'd like to thank the Governor and First Lady for being stalwart champions of this project since its inception, and Michael Eisenson and Mike Roberge, who have been leading our campaign effort and ensuring that what was a great idea became a reality. And of course, we'd like to thank the generous supporters who gave the lead gifts to our campaign, Barbara and Ed Shapiro and Lauren and Joe Mazzella, and all the incredible donors that have given money to the Little Steps Big Mission campaign. I'd also like to take a moment to thank a few special partners in this process. These are organizations and individuals who've worked alongside us for 24 to 36 months to make this project a reality. First, there's Jonathan Lavash, our amazing project manager, who just led me through this. Then there's Studio MLA, our architects, whose team designed our space and everything down to the last detail. Kaplan Construction, who did our fit out, delivered everything on time and below budget. Who does that? And Commodore Construction, who built the core and shell of our building last year. Another great team who gave their all to our project. Thank you all for partnering with me, for cajoling and coercing me, and just carrying me over the finish line on this historic project. I'd also want to thank a number of children and families who joined us here tonight, because we really appreciate the interest that our youngest community members are taking in us this evening. As I stand here tonight, we can all begin to see a brighter future. a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. Vaccinations are here. We're beginning to see our way out of this pandemic, and we can almost envision a return to the lives that we once knew. For all of us, this pandemic has been an incredibly trying time. We've navigated the full day of Zoom meetings. We've had kids learning remotely from home, kids going to school part-time, but there have been limited opportunities for children to blow off steam, and we all know how that is. We also missed gathering with our loved ones and our friends. So it was hard, but for the families of Horizons, the ones we support, those living in the shadows with their children, this year has been a battle for survival. They lost jobs, they are suffering food insecurity, they've faced challenges providing just basic needs for their family to a degree that Horizons has never experienced. This devastation has required us to support our families in completely new ways. We've been having food delivered twice a month, so we were sure the families that we served had fruits, vegetables, and the dry goods they needed. We've also provided families with direct payments into their bank accounts so they could buy milk, diapers, and other necessities. So it's been incredibly hard, but we've seen remarkable things out of our parents. Parents enrolled at Horizons have stepped up with really true grit and determination. They not only wanted to survive, but they wanted to continue their path forward. Several of them have launched small businesses, and many went back to work as soon as they could, even when times were as uncertain as they have been. You know, our children returned to school in July when the pandemic was still raging. It was an incredibly scary time. But when I saw and heard when I visited those classrooms last summer, it was joy, it was the sounds of laughing and learning, eating, growing, all the things we want our children to do, and really getting back into those routines that are so important and comforting to children experiencing trauma. Long before there was a vaccine, our teachers returned to the classroom. Many were afraid, but they knew the children and families we served needed them, so they stepped up and they got back to work. And it is work that they love. Knowing that children and parents were sheltered and isolated in their rooms for the first part of the pandemic, our place-based team actually created virtual playtime. Children had a laptop, we had a laptop, and we created some fun. In the fall, we were able to launch some outdoor play space shifts so that volunteers were able to play with children safely outside. Now, actually, this spring, we're relaunching those outdoor shifts across the state as the weather warms up. So, to be honest, this past year, I've never been more proud as a CEO than to see the extraordinary work that our teams have done together, fashioning new solutions to serve the changing needs of our families. Later in the program, you're going to meet Angelik, a mom. She's going to talk about a new business she began during the pandemic, just as a way to make ends meet for her family, and it's proved really rewarding. We've helped our families through a difficult year, and while the end is in sight for us, for the poor, this pandemic is far from over. In Massachusetts alone, there are potentially thousands of foreclosures pending across the state. Many of the jobs that our families had before the pandemic may not return because of closures of businesses, stores, restaurants, and other service opportunities. Many of our families, like families across the country, have incurred debt and accumulated debt, and they're just trying to survive, and they don't have a tax rebate check coming next spring. Now, the good news is the federal government has stepped up with some welcome relief funding, and they've taken a bold step to address child poverty. But in calculating the numbers and the impact those things would have on our families, we still see our families really existing right at the poverty line, even with all that help. So our children and families, they will need continued support and our help and your help in the coming years, because for them, this pandemic is going to last a little bit longer. But you know, tonight's really about bright new beginnings. We have so much to be excited about at Horizons. After the last month of transitioning, we actually have all our children in the Edgerley Family Horizons Center. We're fully operational in our state-of-the-art facility on Columbus Ave in Roxbury. This new center allows us to serve 30% more children in our classrooms, and that's a third of the children living in Boston area shelters that are under 6 years old. Our unique trauma-informed approach can get to all of those children now. Families also will have access to on-site medical services, delivering basic family medicine along with behavioral health, mental health, and women's health services. All of this in one place. So the new center not only expands our capacity, but it really allows us to deepen our work. And you're going to hear more about that in a few minutes when we take you on a tour. This building is about more than buildings, windows, and walls. It's a bright new future for those of us who work at Horizons and all the children and families we serve. Also, it's a bright new space for the city of Boston and a real commitment to the homeless families. When the time is right, we look forward to welcoming all of you to come for a visit and see for yourself the important and inspiring work that's happening at Horizons. You saw how the team reacted when they saw the space for the first time. Now I'd like you to join us as we show you around, and I hope you'll feel the same inspiration and be as moved as I am every time I walk through the door. Welcome to the Edgerley Family Horizons Center, a brand new, dynamic learning environment for children experiencing homelessness and a source of support and inspiration to their families. Located in the heart of Roxbury, the center was designed as a social service hub to improve the education, health, and well-being of our families. Enter Horizons for Homeless Children through a light-filled entrance that will include inspiring art reflective of the beauty and colors of our surrounding neighborhood. The Eisenson Infant Playground is full of sensory play and has ultra-soft turf for tumbling and tummy time as our youngest students develop their motor skills. Nearby, the Liberty Mutual Community Room will host parent workshops, volunteer opportunities, and community events like our annual celebration of families. The infant and toddler classrooms have been thoughtfully designed with a trauma-informed best practices to provide a comforting space to learn. Observation rooms were put in to allow families and guests to view children at play without disturbing classes in session. Look out at the Ojeleye Family Preschool Playground, full of play structures designed by an occupational therapist for our toddler and preschoolers to explore. The Roberge Family Recreation Room is used for indoor play that further develops our students' gross motor skills. Now we're heading up to the third floor to see our new Hawk Foundation STEM room. Here, children will be learning how to code and get comfortable in the binary world through a partnership developed with the Elliott Pearson School at Tufts University. Down the hall, the Shapiro Preschool Suite has been designed for our older students as they learn literacy and mathematical skills while preparing for the transition to kindergarten. The Levine Team Room serves as a bright and spacious break for all staff in all areas of the organization. This hall leads into the Frederick W. Worcester Children's Library, where students will be inspired to grow their love of reading in this engaging and comfortable space. Our curated trauma-informed bookshelves hold colorful stories that help children hone literacy skills and develop self-esteem, with books reflecting the diversity of all of our families. Thank you so much for joining us on our virtual tour. We look forward to welcoming you in person soon.
It really is incredible to see the vision of the Edgerley Family Horizons Center coming to life. It has truly been made possible by people and organizations spanning the public and private sectors, and of course, people just like you. Next, we want to share a few words of encouragement from some of this evening's special guests and supporters.
Hey everybody, this is Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker.
And First Lady Lauren Baker. We're so honored to be here with all of you to celebrate the incredible work of Horizons for Homeless Children and the incredible difference they make for children and families across the Commonwealth. I've had the pleasure of working with Horizons and getting to know their work over the last many years. And it is so incredibly inspiring how you are able to deliver for children and families when they need it most. And during this past year, you've done a really incredible job of stepping up and being there for the Commonwealth's most vulnerable children and their families.
I just want to take a minute to thank everybody for the history of Horizons for Homeless Children. This goes back a long way to when I was actually working in state government in the 1990s. A group of people got together, thought this was a need that needed to be filled. They came up with a program model, and over time, they've continued to evolve this program model to the point now where it's certainly one of the most attractive and productive and successful models of its kind anywhere in the country. And today, we get to celebrate the opening of the Edgerley Family Horizons Center, which is a state-of-the-art facility that will make it possible for Horizons for Homeless Children to significantly increase its capacity to serve kids here in the Commonwealth. And I would just say to all of you, you've been terrific partners to so many in the public and private sector, and you continue to be a real beacon of success and hope and joy for so many kids in Massachusetts.
Have a great time, everyone, and thank you for supporting Horizons for Homeless Children.
What she said. I hope everybody has a great night, but I especially appreciate your support for Horizons for Homeless Children, and congratulations again on the Edgerley Center.
MFS has been a consistent supporter of Horizons for really over 10 years now. Our employees really get involved at all levels of the organization through volunteer efforts. We donate as part of coat and toy drives around the holidays, and at a leadership level as well. I've been on the board for a number of years now and been a consistent contributor as well to the organization. What we clearly saw during the pandemic is the income and social inequality, and I do believe it's organizations like Horizons that are making a difference. The organization has stepped in, it's stepped up for the families, and we've been really excited to partner with them. We're super excited about the future of Horizons and its families. Most importantly, the near term is the new building that we're moving into, which is going to be revolutionary for the organization, for the kids and the families, and for the local neighborhood as well. So we're super excited to continue to partner with Horizons to make an impact on the families that they serve. So thank you for everyone for joining us tonight, and thank you for contributing to the mission at Horizons.
I think for both Paul and myself and our whole family, we are incredibly proud to be among so many people who are supporting this brand new center for Horizons for Homeless Children. We have been huge fans of Horizons really since the very beginning. And I think we both feel like having seen Horizons, the impact it has, the growth it's had over these years, we are just big believers that Horizons makes a significant, really transformative difference in the lives of homeless children and also in the lives of their parents and families. And there's nothing more traumatic for a child than going through homelessness. So for Horizons to be able to serve so many children in such a significant way and really truly transform their lives is really something so special and so impactful. So we've always been so proud of Horizons, and I think now feeling like this is going to be able to serve more children, and not just more children, but also to serve the children more deeply in terms of the breadth of programming. So we feel very grateful, and we're really proud to be part of a broad community of donors and supporters and fans who've been with Horizons from the beginning and those that have joined along the way. You know, it takes a lot of people and this incredible staff, the leadership. We just are really, we know it's a big community of people who are supporters, and we're just grateful to be a part of it.
I do think when you have a chance to hear the story just of one child, one family. I remember we had an event at our house. It's probably been almost 25 years ago. And the children were amazing, but the mother in the one case was recovering from some addiction problems. She was trying to get her feet in the ground. She had gotten a job, and she needed a place that her children would be safe so she could go off and really rebuild her life. And so you realize it's a lot about the children, but it's a lot about the families and really enabling them to find a way to have successful meaningful lives themselves. And so, I think you see one story and it's enough to get you going. It's amazing that it's going to be a center that affects 200 kids. So we're very proud to be involved.
This is an incredibly exciting moment for me and the fulfillment of an ambition that has motivated us from the time we launched Horizons more than 30 years ago. Since that beginning, we have believed deeply that high-quality early education is one of the single most important ways to change the life trajectories of children and families living in difficult circumstances. We committed to one another that we would do everything we could to ensure that the most disadvantaged children in our community had access to the highest quality early education available to anyone in the city of Boston, whatever their means. With the Edgerley Center, that ambition is a reality for now 225 children and their families. And in fact, I'm confident in saying that these children will have the highest quality early education not only in Boston or Massachusetts, but indeed anywhere in the country. Horizons is able to do the great work that it does and was able to accomplish the transformative growth underway today because of a remarkable partnership among three exceptional groups of people. First is the Horizons staff, who I believe are the most dedicated and the most skilled team anywhere in the early childhood universe. Second is a very supportive and forward-thinking group of officials in state and city government, starting at the top with Governor Baker. And third is the deeply committed community of current and former Horizons board members, who together provided more than 2/3 of the funding required to build this extraordinary center. I am personally grateful to all of them and to everyone else who has supported Horizons over these many years. And I am truly excited to watch as so many families benefit from this wonderful place and its amazing staff. Thanks to you all.
Hi, I'm Susan Moran, Senator for 6 towns, including Plymouth, Pembroke, and Kingston. But family homelessness affects the entire Commonwealth. Horizons operates 3 play spaces in my district, and I've been impressed to learn about the positive impact they have on children and families, especially during this difficult year. COVID has highlighted the vulnerability of the homeless and the many ways early education plays a critical role in the economy and the ability of families to get back to work. Addressing homelessness with access to early childhood intervention through universal child care is my top legislative priority. Your attendance here tonight helps pick up where our work leaves off. I urge you to support this evening's event financially, however you can. My thanks and appreciation to Horizons for all you're doing to help families experiencing homelessness as they strive to start our children off on the right step. Thank you.
What's up, guys? This is George Foreman III. I'm really excited today because I get to talk to Shemi Ojeleye. He's been gracious enough to spend some time with us talking about his career, his mentors, his family unit, and why it was so important to his success, in addition to why giving back is so important to him. Thank you for joining us. I'll just provide a little context as to how important it is for you to spend time like this. My father, I was fortunate enough to have a strong father figure and a mother, but my father didn't have a household that, how she said, you're only as good as your parents. But he had Jim Brown on TV, and he looked up to Jim Brown and Johnny Unitas, and that's what got him to be, he became an Olympic gold medal and went on to be a successful athlete and businessman. But it wasn't the people in the household, it was the people like yourself that were sending messages to young people. And so many of the people that are served, not just the parents, but the children, they're your fans. And these little things, even just knowing that Celtics organization cares, but also that you personally care, it's a game changer in ways you wouldn't even know until 10 years from now, you'll meet one of these kids and they'll tell you. Can you talk a little bit about, especially as it relates to your success in your career, your business acumen, which I've witnessed, what does family mean to you, family?
Family is, I think it's cliche to say everything, but I think I'd probably say it's the root of everything. For me, it starts with my name, my culture, my ethics, what I just believe in and try to model every day, following my parents and how hard they work to get to this country, how they treat people, just how I go about daily life. So without family, without those people that I've looked up to, I wouldn't be where I am.
So then tell me, then talk about basketball, right? So strong family unit, strong mother influence, father showing you, about work, but basketball is what has been a big part of your life. Could you talk about just what the sport has meant to you? And the reason I bring it up is there's a lot of young people who leadership, camaraderie, all these things, mentorship come via sports. Can you talk about what basketball has meant to your life?
It was number one about enjoying being with other people, enjoying having teammates, enjoying the relationship with them. So that's, communicating with them on the court, hanging out, winning together, losing together. And it teaches you about life in an environment where you're competing. And in that environment, it either brings out the best in you, and then some people brings out the worst. But regardless of that, it brings out a pure version of yourself. And I think it's something that no matter what sport it is, if you're competing with someone, you're gonna learn a lot about them and a lot about yourself.
Man, so in terms of the deeper questions, could you talk a little bit about these? My last couple. How do you give back? Obviously, you give back by your example, right? And doing things like this. But anything else that you can share? Because sometimes the best way to motivate other people to do it is hearing you what you do, so they can mimic you. Yeah. But how do you give back, and why is that important to you?
Yeah. I think my what up, Doc? Surprise appearance from Taco. One of the ways I think we think that we need like a big platform to give back. So we need to build something great or start a grand program or give a lot of money. But I think we all have a platform. We all have a voice. And I think we sometimes feel that if it's not big enough that we can't use it, but that's not right. The biggest impact we can make is on the people that are right within our grasp. So whether that's family, friends, the next person you meet in a conversation, give to them and put them before you and help them out in any way that you can. And by doing that, you make an impact on them. And that effect, turns around and has them impacting someone else over and over and over again. I think if we start there, then we'll be able to start those programs and help those kids and develop those larger programs or larger platforms that can really change the world.
To the person that, the young person, right, who can watch this interview, who's 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, or one of the parents, right, younger parents, many of them, there's statistically no hope for them to go from where they're at to your level of success and whatever their craft may be, right? What do you say to that person to not feel like they're defined by the last 3 or 4 years of their life?
Right. By the stats. One, I would tell them that every single person that's made it, and I know this from experience because I've made it this far, like no one ever thinks you're gonna make it. When I was their age, no one thought I'd be here. Those doubts, those days when you don't feel like you're gonna make it, that adversity is just a bump in the road. But know that the best thing you can do for yourself is to believe in yourself, that you can do it, that dream, that passion you have is put in your heart for a reason. And there will be a couple people that will come across your path to help you out and to lift you up and get you there.
Well, lastly, just anything, what do you love about Boston, or any last words that you would have for the Celtics fans who are watching this interview right now? And I'll stay out of your hair, man. Thank you.
For the C's fans, it's definitely, I think the biggest thing I've learned through this pandemic is that we take the fans for granted. Playing most of this year without fans opened my eyes to the energy that is lacking in there because they're gone. So fans, we appreciate y'all. It's nothing like having y'all packed in TD Garden, and hopefully we get to see y'all back in there packed out very soon.
We are so thankful for those words of support, and we're also so grateful to all of you who have stepped up this past year because you recognized how challenging the circumstances have been for families experiencing homelessness. As you've heard, since the start of the pandemic, Horizons has been innovating ways to offer services safely for those families' needs and with those families in mind. Let's take a few moments to hear what the last year has been like for our families, teachers, and volunteers.
My daughter's name is Angelik Gross. She goes to Horizons and JP. She's 4 years old. She's been there since she was 3 months. She is now in UPK. She'll be going to kindergarten next year, and I'm scared.
As a mom, I try not to make my disappointment for myself to show. I don't show it to my kids. Like, I don't let them see my hurt or my pains or anything like that.
So when we closed, the kids were back either in the shelters or in the whatever housing they had available. So the main concern we had with that was that Horizons they provide the first 2 meals of the day for each child. So that's breakfast, lunch, 2 snacks. And then there's more space than the shelters usually provide for the kids to explore and just grow.
I face challenges with the kids being at home and nowhere to go. And sometimes, we might have food issues.
When the pandemic happened, my job just texted us and was like, we're closed, don't come back, it's a pandemic. And I'm like, I was going to work tomorrow. So it was like, what am I supposed to do?
So you've got this group of people, these homeless families, and you want to keep them going, right? You've got some momentum built there, and then you've got this stop.
We get milk, we get eggs, we get bread, we get macaroni and cheese, a lot of stuff. And it was healthy because we could make the pasta and make salad on the side.
They give a lot of fruits that my daughter likes. She's addicted to fruit. So it helps out a lot.
They got creative. We sent postcards out. I think in April we sent some. We sent some out in November. Little private messages to the families and to the children and to the staff itself.
We use Zoom to connect with the parents and children, to do activities, circle time, sing songs, do a check-in. We also call the families weekly.
They're going through a lot, and your job is to be there for them and just to understand and support.
When I got the call to come back to school, I was worried about how the kids was gonna cope and stuff like that, and how it had impacted them.
We were expecting the kids to kind of have a tough transition because we were closed down for a few months, and that's a big gap in child time. These kids came back happy as can be.
I've seen the children adjust to masks way better than most adults I've met who had to deal with the masks. They do bounce back. They're tough.
Right now, we're working on a few goals. We have ones where we were doing for permanent job placements, ones for school. We're working on one for becoming a healthcare proxy for my father. If you tell her you want to do something, she's sending you all the information, all the resources, literally everything, and making sure that you're on top of what you're telling her you want to do. I love her for that.
She keep tracking you every day. My goals is self-care. I'm not the person that do self-care. So she always telling me, you need to do self-care.
Within the last year, it's just gotten me very grateful for the work that I'm doing, and just the community that we have of Horizons.
Some people, when you say, I work at a preschool for children who are homeless, and they're like, that must be awful. And it's like, they're still children, they're still people, it's still a community, there's fun to be had, there's learning going on. So that positivity is what drew me in.
If you want to make a difference, if a smile of a little child means something, there's a place for you.
I hope you enjoyed hearing from our team and families about their experience over the last year. Now I'd like to take a moment to introduce you to Angelik, one of our parents who worked closely with her coach Feluke to turn her passion for beauty and self-care into a small entrepreneurial business that now supports her family as she builds a better tomorrow.
I really honestly grew up just taking care of my brothers. My mom was always working, which I totally understand, but just I basically was a mother when I was just like started at 9 because my younger brother's 10 years younger than me. So I started with him and then the rest came and I just basically was a mother. I remember I was, you know, my regular thing, cleaning the whole house, taking care of the brothers and all that. And basically, I didn't wash the dishes that day. Yes, I didn't wash it because I was like, you have 4 other children. They can do that. And we got in a little argument and I was like, I can't wash them. And I didn't have time because I have to study for a test tomorrow because I'm one of the A students. So I'm, you know, on that. And she was just like really angry that day. And she's just like, get out the house, get out. I don't want you here anymore. And I was like, why? Like, there was no reason why. So I ended up moving in with my dad who lives with other people. So that was a fun experience. Maybe 2 or 3 weeks from then, because I was the one taking care of my brothers. She's like, can you come home? And I was like, I don't think I want to come home. And she's like, no one can drop off Kayvon to the bus stop. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm only used for that. So after returning back to my mom's house, she was pushing me to do college because that's all I know. I'm just like, okay, I'll go to college here. I hated it. No one checked up on me, was like, oh, how's college or anything like that. Like, they just like, oh, Angelik's in college. The only one towards the middle-ish end, because that's when I met my husband, was my husband. And he was really the only person. So he just really was there, the only person. After we got married, we finally got our own space and we moved to Braintree. We had a basement studio apartment. It was perfect. Like, we're not home, so it just worked. In 2016, that's when I got pregnant. So I was working and working. I was like, okay, I wasn't really worried about money or just anything about baby, anything. I was literally still working. My landlord, I told him, I was like, I don't think, because I didn't lose a job yet, but I was like, I think that we're not going to be able to pay rent. I don't know how this is going to happen because this is our first baby, etc. And they also was like, oh, you're pregnant. You're in a basement. You actually can't really live here, so you have to go now. So that's when we became homeless. And I remember, I think I was just like done because I was like, sorry. That's when I made my decision. I was just like, I'm not gonna be like my mother. I'm not gonna be like how everyone treated me. I'm not gonna also have people walk all over me anymore. Like, I was just over it. And I was like, I need to be completely strong and just a better mother for my daughter. After Lily's born, we're still living, his room is very tiny and he had a twin mattress. Like, Cleveland's 6'2" and we're both on this. So I was just like, you know, I can't do this. I need to upgrade my life. And I thought about, you know, being a hairstylist, and I was just like, I'm gonna do it. And I went to Mansfield Beauty School, and you know, they gave me the whole thing. I was like, yes, start me right now, ASAP. I think I started a month after, but I just made sure that that was gonna be, because I didn't have a career, and I was like, I want a career. Like, it's time for a career. I'm tired of jobs. When she started school at Horizons, I think they had one spot, and I was looking for daycare, and they just got me there, and I was like, thank you. Like, it was really, I didn't know what was gonna do if at all, because they just called me and was like, oh, we have one spot. Like, are you free? Can we do it? I was like, yes, please. Like, please. Immediately, I think she just was like, oh my gosh, another place. Because, you know, we've been to other places, they were okay, but there was something about this place that she really loved compared to the other daycare she was at. I think we were looking inside the classrooms and going to the classrooms, and it's just the fact that, like, I just think it's the teachers. Like, they bring that positive, good energy, and that's what she loves, because she feeds off of energy all the time. Like, if you're mad, she's just like, what's wrong? Every single day, every moment of the day, I have studied about just salon anything. New hairstyles, new products. I took certifications. I did Barberside. I did a lash extension course. So now I'm like certified. I did all of that every single day to prepare to open my salon. One of the main reasons why I decided to be an entrepreneur is the flexibility. The fact that Horizons works within my schedule, and you know, it's not a regular daycare thing. It's not like, oh, take my child and then we're done. Lili's reading skills, like even math skills, have really improved. I know that me and the teachers talk from time to time on what she should focus on, and now I kind of use it to play games at home or on the road. She just takes pride in now reading a book every night before we go to bed, no matter how late it is. And it's really good, you know, she loves it. But I love how now, what I do with her now is I let her interact with the book and tell me what's happening. So she can remember Pinkalicious that we read like almost every night. But she remembers how I read it, and she looks at the pictures and kind of like interprets it. It's almost the same thing. So I like that about her, and I love how she did it with Hair Love, the book that she loves the most. Feluke is my family advocate. I adore her. Like, this woman is like, think of your own cheerleader every time you do something, or just anytime you think, she's just like, I thought it, yeah. She's so supportive in just anything I do, and she actually hypes me up. I believe that Horizons has helped our family structure, and they actually help my business. I would say without the goals me and Feluke have worked on, if I didn't do any of that, I don't know where I'll be right now. But Horizons, like, they work with me, you know, and I just had so much success with them, with my daughter and the business. I just been super happy, and everything I've been doing has been because we laid the foundation of creating goals and, oh, here's a budget training. Do you want to do that? Do you want to do, we have some extra food. They deliver us vegetables. We eat vegetables now, and I'm very picky. Because of what she has got for Horizons, I think she's gonna excel past every grade she's gonna be in, because you guys started her here at the foundation.
Hi everyone, I'm Tara Spalding. We hope you enjoyed hearing from so many members of our community. Our parents, Angelik, Christine, and Tatiana, our teachers, Shauna, Anella, and Lisa, and Mike, our incredible pal, volunteer. They all shared their stories of resilience over the past year. I now know how hard it is to be on camera, so thank you all for that. We are coming to you live tonight. Yes, I am literally talking to you right now from beautiful downtown Brighton. This is the first time Horizons has attempted a live ask as part of our virtual event. So tonight we have an ambitious goal. Each year the gala is one of our largest and most successful fundraising efforts, and this year is no different. We need your help to hit $1 million. So thanks to our sponsors and supporters who made gifts prior to the event, we've already raised $800,000. We hope to raise an additional $150,000 tonight, which, in addition to our auction, which is literally going on right now, so get your bids in, will help us hit $1 million. And we've made it really easy for you to make your gift. Just click on Donate Now on your screen. That's all you have to do. So let me tell you why your gift matters. Early in the pandemic, our team conducted a survey of our parents, and it revealed that food insecurity was a major issue. You heard directly from our parents this evening. Horizons stepped up to provide monthly delivery of food boxes containing fresh fruits and vegetables, dry goods, milk, and pantry items. These food boxes were delivered directly to families where they live, in their shelter, making healthy food really accessible and reliable for their families. Your gift of $10,000 tonight will help us continue this new program, which has become so critical to our families. This program wasn't a part of our budget. It was created to fill a need, and we need your help to ensure we're able to continue to provide this critical food to our families. So one gift of $10,000 will sponsor 1 month of giving fresh fruits and vegetables and food to all of our families. And I am getting the great news that we've received, hot off the press, a new gift of $10,000, anonymous gift of $10,000, so thank you so much. We also want to thank Richard and Rosalind Slifka, who've supported us at $10,000. That's 2 months. We can continue to give fresh fruits, vegetables, pantry items to our families, personally delivered. So now I'd like to take a moment to introduce a very important member of our team, someone who is crucial to our mission, Jade Rodriguez. She's our center director. Jade is going to talk about the experience of the teachers and our children in the new Edgerley Family Horizons Center. Jade, come on up.
Thank you, Tara. Good evening, everyone. We are now all in our new state-of-the-art space. There's so much excitement now that we have all of our 3 childcare programs under one roof. I must say, it's been an amazing journey to see our plan on paper now come alive. I have the pleasure of seeing our teachers and children enjoying this well-deserved space every day. Our classroom and outdoor spaces were intentionally designed with each age group in mind to provide rich learning experiences for children to play and grow. We have additional spaces that we've never had before, like an awesome library that holds over 3,000 books, which include classic children's books, as well as books that highlight diversity and inclusion selections. We have 2 amazing playgrounds with all the amenities a child could ever want. Huge sandboxes, climbing walls, reading nooks, herb garden, and playground climbing structures. And lastly, we have our STEM room, where our children can work together, problem solve, and experiment freely. We couldn't be more excited. Thank you, Tara.
Thanks. I'm pretty sure that our library probably has a copy of Pinkalicious, which was Angelik's daughter's favorite book, and my daughter's favorite book too. So I feel like we got a little glimpse of the excitement that's going on at our center. Thank you, Jade. Please know your gift of $5,000 tonight will help us build teeny tiny robots and all the materials that go in this STEM lab. This new building really gives us the opportunity to invest in 21st century skills for our children and their parents. We're also going to invest in our teachers. Your gift of $5,000 will help pay for training for our teachers to hone their STEM teaching skills. And I've heard we just have a few $5,000 gifts in. Oh my goodness, we are already at $98,000. We're almost at $100,000, folks. Our goal is $150,000 tonight, and we really hope you'll get us there. So we got an anonymous gift, a lot of anonymous folks tonight, which is okay. We love that. And MS Walker, thank you for your gift of $5,000. Michelle and Bob, thank you so much for your gift of $5,000. So our Play Space program continues to be a critical part of our mission. I know we have a lot of PAL volunteers watching tonight. Thanks for tuning in and thanks for all you do. As many of you know, we had to close our play spaces because of COVID. Well, I'm really happy to report our shifts have been open for the past 7 weeks now, outdoors. Our volunteers have returned to the shelter to play with kids in an outdoor setting that's very safe. But during quarantine, our indoor play spaces were a safe refuge for kids living in shelter. Just imagine living in shelter during quarantine. There was nowhere for the kids to go. So these rooms really became a safe, fun place for kids to retreat to. So these rooms were very well used, which makes us happy, but it means many need to be refurbished. A gift of $3,000 tonight would help us cover the cost of replenishing one of our 90+ trauma-informed playrooms that are located in family shelters throughout the state. So the gift of $3,000 will help us fill those rooms with new books, toys, games, cleaning supplies, and even those really beautiful little wooden kitchens that kids love to play with so much. All of that will help us prepare as we get ready to open these indoor play space sessions later this year. So, oh my goodness, so I have a huge gift to report. Lauren and Joe Mazzella, you are incredible. We love you. We couldn't do our work without you. Thank you so, so much. You have really helped move the needle tonight. We have a $2,500 gift from Kate Mead. And I can see we've already hit over $100,000, $112,000. Thank you all so much. Please know a gift at every level has an impact, $25, $50. Monthly giving is also a great way to support Horizons throughout the year. A gift of $100 each month, That helps offset the costs of bringing services to our families. You can help us provide that monthly support for vital necessities throughout the year. That's overall a $1,200 gift, broken down $100 per month, and we would really appreciate that ongoing support. Chip Hazard, I see Chip just made a gift of $5,000. Thank you so much, Chip. The number is climbing, and we really appreciate it. So our total that I see climbing, when we add that to our auction, we're gonna hit a spectacular number. So I'm hearing that we have some bidding wars going on the auction. So get in on that action. It closes at 9:00 p.m. tonight, and there's still time to win. You could win a weekend in Woodstock, Vermont, which is my favorite place, or original artwork by Mo Williams, who's a favorite author and illustrator here at Horizons. So I'm seeing more amazing gifts come in through the monitor. Kate, can you join me up here?
I'd be delighted to join you. Congratulations, you've done a terrific job. Thank you to everybody who joined us here tonight. I can now report, because I have more data than you, that we have exceeded our goal once again. Woo! So to you, to everyone on the committee, to everybody who gave to us tonight and throughout this year, thank you. We look forward to seeing you next year in person, live in Boston. Thank you so much.
All right, our evening has ended, but the work at Horizons has not. Thank you so much for donating your time and your money to this incredible organization. We thank you for being here.